right, so most of you got this homework done in class, but just for the sake of going over it, let's go over it. Here's the steps to bisecting an angle. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. First step, draw your arc, and then find a point equidistant from both sides, and draw your line. Simple as that. So let's take a look at the first one. I want to bisect this angle. So I'm going to set up at my vertex, random measurement, and draw an arc. There we go. Now I've got 2 points here, so I want to find a point somewhere in between that is equidistant. So I start at one intersection, set a distance, and do an arc. Come to the other intersection point, and keeping the same distance, do another arc. And now connect my vertex to my X point. There we go. Okay, what if it's an obtuse angle? Nothing changes, same idea. So I'm going to make my arc, my half circle here through there. Try to avoid hitting the arrows if you can. That can mess you up a little bit. Now, if I try to keep my measurement the same, I'm probably not going to intersect. So I'm going to increase my radius some. Set up at my intersection point and at the other intersection point. There's my X, vertex to the X, and you're good. Okay. Hey, the next two problems are actually the same thing. So I'm going to skip those. You can look on the answer key and see what it should look like. Okay. So that is number 3 and 4. But let's take a look at number 5. Bisect all 3 angles of this triangle. Okay. So I'm going to use a different color for each angle because it makes it a little easier to see. So my first angle is here. So I start at the vertex. Again, I'm going to do my arc through the angle. I'm ignoring all of this. I'm just worried about this angle here. So from these 2 points, I make my intersection, 1, 2, and now I can bisect my angle. There we go. Okay, let's do another one. Let's bisect the top angle up here. So same idea. Hey, if you need to turn the paper around, turn the paper around. No one cares. Arc through the angle. Again, I'm ignoring this. I'm just looking at that angle. From each of these, I'm going to use this different measurement. I'm going to come down here this time. It kind of helps if you're outside the triangle. It makes it a little easier to work with. Do the same down here. There we go. And connect my X to my vertex. Done. And the last one. I'll do the last one in one other color. So now again, I'm ignoring this. I'm looking at this angle. So I set up at my vertex. I do an arc through there, and then from each intersection point, again, I'm going to use this long point here, and to the other side of the intersection. There we go. So from my vertex through there. Look at that. They almost all intersect. Kind of crazy. We're going to talk about that later on. That's something special. Last problem. This is actually what I was talking about in class about having to put up molding if you're doing crown molding or toe molding. This is a little tough to see, so I'm going to highlight my angle a little bit. So let's say I found this is what the angle of my corner should be. And I need to actually figure out, to bisect that angle to figure what to cut my molding at. So I'm going to use my bisect an angle. Ignore this curve. Okay, that's there to fool you. Because never trust a picture. You want it done right, do it yourself. So I make my, you can't hardly see that. Let's get a better color. Let's get red. I make my arc here, and red's not showing up either. There we go, make the arc. And I intersected here and here. So I'm going to set up out here, and that's going to be there on my other intersection point over here. And now I can easily bisect my angle to know exactly how to cut my molding. So very simple process on all of these. Nothing exciting here. We'll take a look at more stuff tomorrow and be ready for some challenge problems tomorrow. Okay, have a good night.